Hey Spartans, talking about area of triangles today. We've already covered areas of rectangles or parallelograms where the base and the height make a right 90-degree angle. And all you have to do to find the area of any parallelogram is multiply your base times your height. So this was a 5-inch card by a 3-inch card, and 5 times 3 was 15. Then when we cut the card in half diagonally, it makes a triangle, which if you look is still a base times height, but it's half the size. Or take your base times your height divided by 2 in the formula. So it's important to know what shape you're finding the area for, to know what formula you're going to be using, and the reason why it's half, because that's half the size of the rectangle we started with. Now we're going to talk about these notes right here that we did in class yesterday, or the last time we were in class. And the area of this rectangle was 24 because it was a base of 6 times a height of 4, and there were 24 squares inside. So for the rectangle, just base times height. And even if it's a leaning rectangle like this one here, it's still the base times the height, which is from the bottom to the top, top to the bottom, 90-degree perpendicular angle there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is flip it over, and we're going to be on the side that says triangle. Okay, so we still have the same base and height that we did in our previous rectangle. Our base is 6, okay, and our height in green is 4. Now we're not going to use the whole rectangle because it's a triangle, so this dotted line, what we did was highlight that in blue, and then we're just going to kind of cross off this section here. Take out this half of the rectangle, and boom, I've got a triangle. Now you need to know the area formula. Area is base times height and divide it by 2. Well, my base is 6 times my height of 4, which is 24, and then divided by 2. The answer is 12 units squared. Now there is a shortcut we discussed in class. If you would like to divide by 2 early, you can either divide the 6 or the 4 by 2. Our class chose the 6. 6 divided by 2 was 3. 3 times 4 is 12. And we had the answer a lot quicker than we did before. Okay, let's go to the examples on the side here. It says the height of a triangle is always perpendicular to the base, forming a 90-degree angle. Okay, so let me find all my bases first. Bases are the flat bottom lines. They're labeled with a B. Don't go past the solid line here. Like down here, 8 is your base. You don't want those dotted lines. That's not part of your base. But it says the height may be shown inside or outside the figure, like this, inside the figure from the top to the bottom. If you have an obtuse angle, it'll be outside the figure from the top to the bottom. Or it may be a side of the figure, like on this right angle, it's actually part of the triangle. So the height on our obtuse triangle down here is 4 from top to bottom. I just look for that 90-degree angle. Okay, now the formula. First you want to start by write the formula. Base times height divided by 2. Triangle. The base here was 8 times the height is 4, and then we're going to divide that by 2. Now we can do it 2 ways. We can just do 8 times 4 is 32. 32 divided by 2 is 16. Or we can do the shortcut. Both of these are half or even numbers, so either one of them can be cut in half. I'm going to cut the 8 in half. 8 cut in half is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. So I still get the answer of 16, but now we're dealing with centimeters and a little squared to show two-dimensional area shapes. Okay, let's go to the assignment that we got right here, area of triangles practice. And let's start by labeling all of the bases. My base for number 1, 6.4. Base for number 2 is 8. Base for number 3, 15.4. Let's just keep going. Base for number 4, move that up. Oh, my triangle's upside down, but my base is right here, 16. It's flat. All right, base for number 5 is 4. This base would be 10. This base is 25. And this base is 6. And then in our star question, this base is 16. Okay, let's get our greens and look for the 90-degree angle. Here it is. The height is 9. 10 is a distractor. The height over here is 4. See the 90-degree angle? The other numbers are distractors. The height on number 7 is 2. These are distractors. And the height is 5. Distractor. The height here is 4.5. No distractors. Okay, flip. The height for number 1 is 4. Distractors here and here. The height here is 5. 6.4 is not needed. And the height here is 8. 17.5 is not needed. And then the last one, the height is 6, and the 10s are distractors. There we go. All right, let me switch to blue. I'll do the first 3 with you, and then you'll do the rest independent. All right, the formula is base times height divided by 2. Triangle. So that would be 6.4 times 4 divided by 2. Now I'm going to use a shortcut here. Anytime I can, I'll use it. I'll take my 4 divided by 2 is 2. Then I simply just do 6.4 times that 2, and I'll be done. 4 times 2 is 8. 6 times 2 is 12. I ignored one decimal, and I have to put that decimal back. So my answer is 12.8 centimeters squared. Okay. Number 2. Area is base times height divided by 2. Triangle. So we're going to take the 8 times 5, base times height, divided by 2. Now the only one that I could use the shortcut on here is the 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4, and 4 times 5 is 20. So 20 meters squared. I could have done 40 divided by 2, but I just wanted to show you how to use the shortcut, especially when you have these decimal kinds. Makes it so much nicer. All right, number 3. They don't have the A, so I'll write it myself. Area equals base times height divided by 2. Triangle. Try to get in the habit of writing the formula, because we're going to be dealing with a lot of shapes. If you see the shape, write the formula, and then you just plug the numbers in. 15.4 times 8 divided by 2. I see a shortcut. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So then all I have to do is 15.4 times 4. Okay, 4 times 4 is 16. Carry the 1. 20 plus 1, 21. 4 plus 2, 6. Sorry. So I ignored one decimal. I got to put one decimal back, and my answer here is 61.6 feet squared to show two-dimensional area. All right, you try the rest, and good luck.